Hi, this is Rachel from FM Expressions Art Services, showing you how to check and adjust the size of your art in Adobe Illustrator. The first thing you're going to want to do is open your art. You want to make sure you have your file ready, set to 300 dpi and CMYK color mode. So here you can see I've got my art. It's my FM Pocket design. I want to make sure that we size it to about 4 inches wide because that's what's going to be a good size. I'm going to hit select and hit all because I want to select everything on my artboard to check the size. If I look all the way over to the right, you can see that the W and H, width and height, are really big. They're about 113 inches by 86 inches, which doesn't seem quite right. So I think something else is on my artboard. From here, what we'll do is we'll go to View and Zoom Out. On Mac computers, you can use the keyboard shortcut, Command minus. Windows can use Control minus. And I'll keep hitting Command minus to zoom out. I can already see some of the lines there. I'll go ahead and hit select all again, just to see everything is in that box. If I feel like I'm missing something or that box is bigger than what I can see, I should probably still zoom out. Now that I can see everything, I'm going to hit the direct select tool. The shortcut on keyboards is the comma key. So with the direct select tool, I'm going to left click and drag over the things I saw earlier. So there are a couple of lines on my artboard and also an extra copy of the art that I might have been working on earlier. So I'll go ahead and left click and drag to select them and then just hit delete on my keyboard to remove them. From here, I'll go ahead and select all again. And this will show me that everything that I need selected is just the art that I have there. So I'll hit Command plus to zoom in. On Windows, it's Control plus. And I can go ahead and double check back up the top of the menu what my size would be. So up there I can see that it is 8.7 by 7.6. That still doesn't seem quite right, but I think it's just that my art's a little bit big for the board. If for some reason you can't see the numbers on the top right to check the size, don't worry. Your Illustrator program might just be at a smaller display size. So I'm going to shrink in my window so that you can see what that's going to look like. I want to make sure I have everything selected so that it does bring up the sizing window. And then you can see that once I've shrunk it in my window, a transform text will show up. If you click on that transform text, the size will be listed there. There's also another way you can bring that transform information up, which I like to see. I do accidentally click on view here because you always end up making that mistake. And I'll go to window. Underneath the window tab, you can find the transform button, and you just want to make sure that that's clicked, and that'll open up the transform window. From here, you can see that it'll have like a little symbol with the transform text there. You may just see the square symbol, and you can click on that to bring up the same transform information with the size listed. I'll drag that tab out, and you always have the option to link that tab to one of your sidebars and just have that there permanently. Illustrator lets you set up the display how you want it, and you can always save that out. Here, I'll just leave that window open. What I really want to check is that the links there are highlighted and linked together. If they have a little dash through them and it's not looking like it's pressed in, that means it's going to be a disproportional resize. I'll go ahead and resize it to 4 inches wide. It'll automatically update the height to 3.5. So my art is now 4 by 3.5, which is really the size I want it to be. But let's say I want it exactly 4 by 4. I'll go ahead with my direct select tool, shortcut comma, left click and drag to highlight all of the art, and then I'm going to unclick that chain button so there's an X through it. And then I can go ahead and type 4 right into the height. So it'll be sized exactly 4 by 4. Now, I'm not a big fan of how this looks at exactly 4 by 4. So if I want to go back, I can try to undo it, but it may not always offer that option. So I'll just go ahead and make sure that my link has a dash through it and type in 3.5 so that it goes back to exactly the size I want it to. So now that my art is 4 by 3.5, this is the perfect size for me. The last thing I want to do is make sure that my artboard and that white page is cropped down to my art so that if I go to upload it on the FM website, it's not going to look off center or it's not going to have a lot of blank space. So I'll go to Object, Artboards, and hit Fit to Selected Art. This just fits the artboard to the size of the art that I have selected, and it helps make sure that when you upload to the website, the art won't preview in a strange way. From here, my art's good to go. It's the right size, so I can go out and hit File, Save to save it as the same file type I have. I believe right now it's an AI file. I could also hit Save As to save as a PDF if I want. But let's say I want to gang the artwork. There's certainly a way to do it. From here, now that my art is sized correctly, I just need to copy and paste the file. So I'll go to Edit, Copy, and then Paste in Place. What this is going to do is going to paste an exact duplicate of the art right on top of the old one. So I'll just click on it with the Direct Select tool and hold Shift while I drag the art out of the area. So I'm just dragging that duplicate to the right to give it a little more space. I'll select both of those, do it again, drag it down, and then I'll do it one more time so that I have 6 on a sheet. I already know that I can fit about 6 4x4 logos on a sheet, so now I'm going to left click drag to check the size of it, and I'll see that it's 9 by 12.77. Since that's so close to the size I need, 12.75, what I'll do is I'll direct select the left area of art and just use my left arrow key to tap that to the left. Your arrow keys will be a slight movement. So I can select the bottom area too and just tap that upwards. So tap the up arrow key to tap upwards. Your arrow keys are great for changing the size very slightly. And I'll go ahead and keep tapping that into place, check the size again, and it looks like we're all set. We're under 9 by 12.75. I'll go ahead again and clip the artboard to my artwork, Object, Artboard, Set to Selected Art, and then I'll hit Save. Now that my art is saved, I have a gang sheet that will work for the 9 by 12.75 program. This is really useful for if you need to set up a sheet with multiple different logos or you want to do a gang sheet with the same. We do hope that this guide was helpful and that you come to us if you have any further Adobe Illustrator questions. And as always, thank you for watching.